going to start just like usual. So we've got our chin tucks and our head turns. So sitting up nice and tall, stacked over those, one vertebrae over the other. We're going to go ahead and chin tuck back for 10. Ready? Begin. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Let's reset. See if that length is still maintained there. Head turns. Here we go. Turn. Back to center. Turn. Center. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. All right, first part, we've got a 4-minute warm-up, 1 minute each move, okay? So our first one is our cherry pickers, and we're gonna do an arm circle back today. So if you're seated, wider than shoulder width out, middle, in, and then an arm circle, or we can do it standing together. Here we go. Ready, and begin. Here we go. So reaching outwards in the middle, and then in between the legs here, and then circle back. Feeling a nice stretch through the back of the legs. Try to stay nice and neutral through that spine. After this, we're going to go into ham curls with a row, pull back row. Twenty more seconds here. Three, 2, and 1. Okay, we're gonna go right to our hamstring curls, and we're kind of doing those rowboat arms here. If you're standing with me, keep that foot flexed as you bring that heel up towards the glute, okay? And if you're seated, your toe tapping back, just because the nature of being seated here, it's a little bit harder to get that heel back, okay? So seated or standing. We're going to go into side steps with a lateral raise next. Good. 10 more seconds here. Three, 2, and 1. Okay, so side step and lateral raise, just coming up halfway with those arms side to side. If you're seated, we are lateral tap with lateral raise. Okay, so either or here. Ooh, this one burns my shoulders like right away. Halfway. Or you can do it this way too. Either way, right? Ooh, 15 more seconds. And then we have one more move. We are going to do our squat and pivot and reach for 1 minute. Then 3, 2, and 1. Heels about shoulder width apart. We're going to squat it down, pivot on that foot, and reach in the opposite direction. Okay, so squat, pivot, and reach. Okay, nice little rotation through the body. If you're seated, leg extension, reach, reach, okay? Almost done our warm up, just 20 more seconds left. Two, and one. Okay, nice work. First block is a 9-minute, 45, 15. We have 3 exercises. The pattern is going to be a 45, 15 for 9 minutes, and then a 2-minute cardio burst where we'll do 2 exercises back to back for 30 seconds each, 2 rounds. We're going to keep on alternating between our 9-minute 45, 2-minute burst, 9-minute 45, 2-minute burst, one more 9-minute 45, and then a 4-minute finisher, Tabata finisher of our cardio burst exercises. So our first 9-minute 45 is a seated overhead press, okay? So we're gonna sit up nice and tall in our chair here. We're gonna be in a neutral grip, and we're gonna press overhead, okay? It's really important to maintain that core control and stay seated up nice and tall. We don't wanna feel like slumped over in our chair here, okay? It's active work to hold ourselves up. So let me show you this from the side. So if you feel yourself kind of tipping this way, make sure you're pulling up. Think of that marionette strength. You wanna be right here as we press up. Our knuckles should be facing out to the sides here, and that's gonna be safest for our shoulder joint. If you need an option here, let's go ahead and do either an alternating front raise or a double front raise, okay? So we're gonna do that. Then we're gonna go into a low row. So you can either do it seated or standing. We're not doing our hinge and row. We're just staying in our low row, okay? So we're just gonna focus all on our lats for that second exercise. And then our third exercise is going to be a goblet squat, okay? So those are the first 3 exercises we're gonna rotate through for 3 minutes, okay? We're gonna start with that seated overhead press. And it actually makes it a little more challenging when we are seated doing an overhead press, okay? You gotta maintain that neutral spine, but we don't get the assistance from our lower body, so this makes it a little bit harder. Okay, so 45 seconds is going on the clock. We're gonna start with our seated overhead press. Make sure you're sitting up nice and tall, vertebrae stacked. 3, 2, and 1. Here we go, okay? Neutral grip, okay? Quality and control. Remember, you can take this to a alternating front raise. If you need an option here, just check in. Is my belly button pulling back towards my spine? If this starts to feel challenging, you can always alternate too. Okay, you can always go 1 at a time. If you feel like, whew, you feel the difference how seated, it's a lot harder seated. It's amazing. Keep on going, guys. I'm just getting a call here that I'm going to sales call there. Sorry, I don't know if that pulls me off the camera there. And time. Okay, guys, we are going into our low row. So you can either do this seated right here, okay, or we can stand up and hinge over. Let's get ready. In 3, 2, and 1. Push those hips back, core is engaged, so I'm pulling my belly button back towards my spine. I'm looking at a focal point on the floor in front of me that keeps my neck in good alignment with my spine, okay? I'm thinking of those lat muscles, those large back muscles, the back side of the rib cage, and I'm controlling my weights on the way down. Checking in to make sure my belly button's pulled back. So 10 more seconds here. We're gonna go into goblet squats. 3, 2, and 1. Nice work, okay? So we can take, depending on your weight, you can take 2 dumbbells together or just 1. We're gonna keep them up at our chest. Heels are about shoulder width apart, slight flare out, okay? Ready? Here we go. So sink it down, drive through the heels up, engage. You're gonna do an alternated seated leg extension if you're seated. Keep that core nice and tight. Goblet squats require a lot of core control. So just always remember, even though sometimes it doesn't seem like a direct abdominal exercise, that does not mean that we are not recruiting and working our core. Three, two, and one. Nice work. That's round one. Woo. Seated overhead press. Remember, if you need options, you can alternate your overhead press or you can alternate your front raise, okay? Ready? Round two. Here we go. Sitting up nice and tall. Pulling that belly button back towards the spine. Should feel challenging but doable. I know the difference between a little bit of exercise discomfort, which is okay, versus acute pain, which we don't want, okay? Whew, we are almost there. We've got 5 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Whew. Low row coming up, seated or standing, okay? Roll those shoulders back and down, feet are underneath our hips. Let's push those hips back. Ready? Begin. Sliding those dumbbells back into the back pockets here. Or into the side, into your jean pockets, you know what I mean? Coming right up into the pocket area of pants. Maintaining that core control takes effort to keep that belly button pulled back. Thinking about the muscle contraction in our lats when those dumbbells are up towards our pockets. 5 more seconds. Woo. 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. Recover. We're going back into goblet squats next, okay? 1 or 2 dumbbells. You can take this to body weight if it feels a little challenging, or your seated alternating leg extension. Ready? Begin. Down. Make sure those knees stay outwards. Don't let them keep forward. Really focused on that mind muscle connection as we drive up, squeezing the glutes and the quadriceps. Halfway. Ten seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. Whew. Get your drinks whenever you need them. It's okay to start a little late, stop a little early. We have 1 more round. Seated, overhead press, neutral spine. Think of that vertebrae stacked, one on top of another. Think of lengthening through the spine. So our final set. Remember, you can alternate it. If it gets a little too tough, or you could do your alternating front raise. We're almost done this exercise for today. We've got 10 more seconds. Whoo! Put this one in first so we get it done with. 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. All done with those. Low row is next, okay? Seated or standing, okay? Set ourselves up, feet are underneath the hips, rolling the shoulders back and down, pushing the hips back, belly button to spine, pull those dumbbells up towards the pockets. Good, we're halfway through this one. Almost there, 5 more seconds. 2 and 1. Okay, goblet squats, and we switch it up, guys, okay? Heels are about shoulder width apart. Slight flare out in that toes. 1 or 2 dumbbells at our chest or body weight if you need an option, okay? Here we go. Sink it down. Drive through the heels. Maintaining that core control by checking in and saying, am I trying to pull my belly button back towards my spine? Just past halfway. Just 10 more seconds. 5, 2, whoo, and 1. Recover, guys. That was a toughie. Get it done first, okay? So recover, get a drink. We are going into a 2-minute cardio burst here. Body weight exercises. 2 moves, 30 seconds each for 2 rounds, okay? So we'll be moving for a full 2 minutes. So adjust your pace and your tempo of these movements accordingly so that you can perform for the 2 minutes, okay? So if you need to slow that pace down, do so, and if you need to speed it up, do so, okay? So our first one is our slip rope squats. So we're going under the rope and stepping over, okay? So slip rope squats here. And then our second move is just like in our warm-up, our ham curl and kickbacks, okay? If you're seated, feet come wide, slip rope, okay? And then ham curls just like in our warm-up right here, okay? All right, guys, 30 seconds going on the clock. We're gonna start with our slip rope squats, seated or standing. Let's get ready. 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. So under that rope and over. Under that rope. Under and over. Under and over. Getting that abduction work through our side glutes. It's important to train in all directions, right? 5 more seconds here. We're gonna go right into our ham curls. 3, 2, and 1. Right into it, okay? Now, after we get done this first set here, think about how you're feeling and see if you can adjust your intensity accordingly. If it feels like you're very elevated, slow everything down. Do you feel like you can push a little harder for 1 minute? See if you can speed it up. Remember, your good form dictates how fast you can go though, okay? So if you start losing form, that's too fast. Here we go, slip rope. Halfway, we have 30 seconds of ham curls and we move on. 5 more seconds here. 3, 2, now ham curls. Seated or standing. Keep that foot flexed if you're standing. That'll help get deeper into your hamstring. 10 more seconds here. 5, 2, and 1. Woo! Okay. Should be breathing a little heavy right here. We're gonna go ahead and bring that back now, okay? So just Let your heart rate come back down into control. Take a drink. We're going back into a 9-minute, 45-15. 3 exercises. We're going to have a front raise to lateral raise combination, okay? So it's a L raise, so we're doing a lateral raise and a front raise, okay? So you kind of make an L shape with the arm here, okay? Alternate side to side, just like so. If for some reason that feels like, you know what, I'm just not feeling that, it feels a little confusing or off, if you want to separate it differently and go into your double front raise to double lateral raise, this is another option, okay? If that feels a little, I don't know, if that just feels better than doing this, okay? So either or is fine, okay? After that, we're gonna go into our gorilla row to stand. So lighter dumbbells for up top here. And if you have a heavier pair, you can go ahead and go heavier for our gorilla row to stand. Because remember, we're nice and wide, toes are forward. We're gonna push those hips back. We're gonna row with one arm and then row with the other. And then we're gonna use our glutes to stand up, okay? You can do the same way seated too, right? Row, row, up, okay? And then our last exercise is lunges, reverse lunges. Okay, so you can, our seated variation would be, we're kind of leaning back in our chair, scooping our core, and we're pressing something heavy away with a flexed foot, alternating, okay? All right, guys, 45 seconds is going back on the clock. We're starting with our L raise. So we're still working on shoulders like we did in the first block. All right, here we go in 3, 2, and 1. Remember, seated or standing here, okay? L raise kind of is like one flows into the other if you're doing it like I am. If that is just not jiving for you, remember you can do front raise, lateral raise, okay? So either or, okay? These are still targeting the same muscles, which is our front shoulder muscle and our middle shoulder muscle. 10 more seconds here. We're going to go into our gorilla row. If you have heavier dumbbells for your gorilla row, you can use those. If not, that's okay. Stick with the ones you have. And time. Woo! Okay, so gorilla row to stand. We're wide with that stance, but our toes are forward, right? I'm going to come to the side here, seated or standing here. Go to this side so my timer's here. Ready? And here we go. So I'm going to hinge. See how neutral my spine is here? I'm trying to keep it nice and flat, keeping that belly button pulled back to the core. Row. Other side row. Use the glutes to stand up. This is our deadlift pattern here, which uses more of the back side of our body. And our squat is a little more of our quadriceps, incorporating the front side of our legs. 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Reverse lunges are next. Okay. So remember, you can do your seated alternating leg press. You've got options. You can hold on to your chair to do them, or one hand side of your chair, or if you're advanced, you can do them without any assistance. You might even be able to add some dumbbells to this, okay? So think about that for maybe your second or third round. If you're advanced, maybe you want to add a little weight next round. Remember, we want that front heel to always maintain contact on the floor so that we can drive up through it to come back up to standing. Slow it down if you need to, and just focus on the quality of your repetitions. 3, 2, and 1. Whew, round 1. Back to the top. Lateral to side raise, or to front raise, I mean. Seated or standing. 3, 2, and 1. keeping our glutes squeezed. If we're standing, still pulling my belly button back, and my muscle contraction focus for the shoulders. Remember, front delt, front shoulder muscle when we're coming forward with that dumbbell, and the middle shoulder muscle when we come out to the side. Whoo! 10 more seconds. These are little muscle groups, lighter weights here. You can even take it to body weight if you need be. 3, 2, and 1. Gorilla row to stand. If you're working with more than one pair of dumbbells, this would be the time to grab a heavier set, okay? If not, keep the ones you have, okay? Wide stance, wider than shoulder width. Here we go. We're gonna push those hips back, neutral spine, belly button to core, row and row. Use the glutes to stand back up. Think like you're hinged over and you're pulling really difficult weeds out of the ground, right? Ten more seconds here. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, lunging is next. So body weight, if you're advanced, maybe you want to hold on to some lighter dumbbells or hold on to your chairs to pull it back a little. And of course, we have our seated variation or alternating leg press. Here we go, reverse lunge. Step back. Remember that front foot, that heel should always be in contact with the floor. If you feel it's popping off, you're gonna have to adjust your stance a little bit because it's really important to lift up off that heel when we're coming back up to standing. 10 more seconds. Yes, this is hard, guys. This is hard. You have to stop early. That's okay. To get an extra drink. 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. 2 rounds down. 1 more to go. Okay. Back to that L raise, that front raise to lateral. Seated or standing. Last set. Ready? Begin. Squeezing the glutes, pulling that belly button back towards the spine. We want to feel like the trunk of our body is a nice stable base for our arms to move on, to give us the leverage we need to work the muscles in the way we want to. 10 more seconds here. 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. All done with those. Gorilla row to stand, okay? Nice and wide with that stance. Toes are forward, okay? Weights are in between. Here we go. We're gonna push those hips back. Keep that belly button to spine. Row with one arm, row with the other. Squeeze the glutes to stand. Good, just 15 more seconds and we're done with these. 5 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, lunges. Then we're done with our second 9-minute 45-15. Okay, remember you have your seated leg press option. We've got our different variations. Both hands on the chair, one hand, no hand, or weights. Here we go. Remember, the quality of our work is what's most important. Dropping that back knee down and driving up through that front heel. Just 10 more seconds here. Move on. 3, 2, and 1. Woo! Nice work. Not for the faint of heart. Go ahead and recover here. We're going to go back into a 2-minute burst. 2 new exercises this time. Same setup. We've got modified jumping jacks, okay? Seated or standing. Remember, if you're seated for these, we're always doing those abduction taps, okay? So you're just coming out to the side with a bent knee, okay? So modified jumping jacks. If you're advanced, throw pepper in some full jumping jacks, and we're pairing that with a back, forward knee, okay? Okay, so these 2 moves right here. If you're seated, we're just doing knee, knee. Okay, you're just alternating your knees. Okay, so 2 rounds, no rest in between. Okay, so assess how it feels round 1, and then see if you need to push a little harder in round 2 or pull back a little more in round 2, okay? So starting with our modified jumping jacks, let's get ready. And 3, 2, and 1. Here we go, okay? You're advanced, make boom, add a couple in there, up to you. Or you can do the flexed foot and keep that, instead of tapping the toes out, you can just keep the leg flexed and come out to the side, whatever feels good. Okay, here we go. Back, forward, knee. So you should always be coming up on the other knee every other time by adding that back, forward knee in. And give a nice strong exhale as we pull those hands down to meet our knee. Give a nice ab contraction through that exhale, okay? 3, 2, and 1. Back to our modified jumping jacks. This is round 2, so assess how you're feeling. Do I need to pick it up a little? Do I need to pull back a little? Or was I in a sweet spot and I'm gonna stay there, okay? 10, no, I'm sorry, now it's 10. Woo! 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Back, forward, knee. After this, we're gonna go into our last 9-minute 45-15. And then we finish with a 4-minute Tabata of all 4 of our 2-minute burst cardio exercises. 3, 2, and 1. Whew, okay, recover. Get a drink while I explain our last 9-minute block. Seated or standing, goalpost fly. Okay, so we're really thinking of pulling those shoulder blades together, squeezing the shoulder blades in the back. Okay, these are what's working for us back here. We're getting a nice stretch through the front as we muscle contract through the back. After that, bicep curls, okay? Bicep curls. And after that, we're gonna take 1 or 2 dumbbells, okay? I'll show you what it looks like with 1 here. Our feet are gonna be about shoulder width apart or so, okay? And we're gonna go ahead and drop down and then drive up, okay? Drop down, it's like a squat deadlift hybrid, I kind of call it. Let me show you from the side, okay? So feet are about shoulder width apart here. All right, I'm gonna sink down, okay? Look at my end position, kind of get a feel of what that looks like, and go through your range. Your range might be through here, okay? It doesn't have to be down as low, okay? But this is kind of like what it looks like. Nice neutral spine. Okay, the hips are pushing back. Not too much, you know, I'm not totally parallel through or perpendicular to the floor here, but I'm pretty straight through my shin, okay? And then drive up. I'm kind of stopping. I'm not even coming all the way out, right? See that? That's all the way out. I'm coming down and then I'm stopping right here. My glutes are still turned on when I go down for the next rep, okay? So you come almost all the way up, okay? That's gonna keep more tension on our glutes. After we do that, our last, that's it, 3 rounds of that, okay? So goalpost fly, bicep curls, and this squat deadlift hybrid, okay? 45-15, we're gonna start with our goalpost fly, either water bottles, 1 pound weights, or no weights here for the goalpost, okay? Here we go, 3, 2, and 1, okay? So I'm really thinking of keeping that belly button pulled back, my glutes are squeezed. That's gonna give me the leverage to really kind of squeeze my shoulder blades together and get those elbows back, okay? Bicep curls are next. We've got about 10 more seconds here. Should feel the back of the shoulder is working here. 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. Bicep curls are next. Okay, so we're gonna have our palms are facing me, okay? My core is engaged, seated or standing here. Okay, my core is engaged, my glutes are engaged if I'm standing. Here we go, we're just gonna pull up, control it down. If it gets too intense for the full 45 seconds, start alternating, okay? And do 1 arm at a time. Don't let the elbows pop too far away from the rib cage. Okay, we want to keep them nice and close. This is an isolation exercise. You should feel it all in the bicep in the front of the top part of the arm. 10 more seconds. 5, 2, and 1. Okay, nice work. And now we've got that squat deadlift hybrid. And you're still gonna do an alternating leg extension, or you're alternating seated leg press for this variation, for the seated variation, either or, okay? Here we go. I'm gonna sink it down, come almost all the way up, okay? So my glutes are still engaged. I'm still kind of like bent through my hip flexors slightly so that that tension, I'm never turning off my glute muscles. I'm constantly squeezing them through this exercise for the full 45 seconds. Ten more seconds here. 5, 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. Back to the top. Take your drinks whenever you need them. Goalpost fly here, okay? Seated or standing. Very lightweight or no weight, okay? Core is engaged, glutes are squeezed. Pull it back. Bring it forward. Focused on the muscles in the upper back and the back of the shoulder. Simultaneously getting a nice chest through the front of the shoulder. Stretch through the front of the shoulder and the chest. So are you guys still on there with me? What is going on? Sorry, I'm getting phone calls coming through. To decline that. Okay. popular this morning. Here we go. Okay, next one, bicep curls. Okay, bicep curls are next. Seated or standing does not affect. It might be a little harder seated, just like our press, but otherwise you're tucking and curling the glutes, okay? The pelvis, keeping the core engaged. And then palms are facing towards me. And then at the top end, knuckles are facing towards me. Remember, if it starts to get really challenging, try alternating. See if that helps you continue to go, but reduce the challenge a little bit. We're past halfway. These are the hardest one for me in this block. 10 more seconds. 2, and 1. Okay. Our hybrid, squat deadlift hybrid. So we're taking that one dumbbell, our feet are shoulder width apart with our toes forward, okay? The dumbbell is in between our legs here. Here we go. We're gonna sink it back, drive through the heels, come almost all the way up, okay? Look at a focal point on the floor that keeps your neck in good alignment with your spine. So somewhere in front of you on the floor, maybe about 8 feet in front of you. Trying to feel that tension on the back side of your body, your glutes and hamstrings for the entire exercise, the entire 45 seconds. 5 more seconds here. 2, and 1. Good. One more set, guys. Goalpost fly. Woo! Okay. Very, very lightweight or no weight here. Standing, make sure that pelvis is tucked, glutes are engaged. Here we go. Pull those elbows back, make a goalpost, bring it together. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Just past halfway on these. Just 5 more seconds. And time. All done with those. Final set of bicep curls, seated or standing. Okay, traditional bicep curl. So those knuckles should be on your thighs to start. Here we go. And then you pull the fingernails up towards the shoulders here. Elbows stay close to the rib cage. This is all bicep here. We're only moving through one joint in the body, our elbow joint, and it's all bicep that controls that movement. Past halfway. Just 10 more seconds now. 3, 2, and 1. Boy. Okay. Final set of our squat deadlift hybrid. So our feet are coming out shoulder width apart, toes are forward, weight is in between our legs here. Let's get ready. We're gonna push those hips back and my spine stays nice and neutral. I come almost out of it, okay? I don't stand completely up, just almost. Okay, I'm really squeezing my glutes. Find that focal point on the floor to keep your neck in good alignment with the rest of your spine. Just 15 more seconds left here. And then we're on to our final 4-minute finisher of the day. 3, 2, and time. All right, good job, guys. Recover. Okay. Get your drink. Our 4-minute Tabata finisher is our 4 cardio burst moves. So our slip rope squat, our ham curl with our row, our modified jumping jacks, and our back forward knee, okay? So we've got just 2 rounds. This Tabata is 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds recovery. We're gonna go through those 4 exercises. Your goal here is to try to tell yourself, okay, I'm doing these moves for 20 seconds. What is the hardest I can go where I still feel safe, you know, not so hard that you feel unsafe about it, right? But can you push yourself, remind yourself they're only 20-second intervals. It's only 4 minutes long. We will be done before you know it, okay? So that's your goal here, is think, can I go hard to finish strong here? Okay, let's go ready with our slip rope squats. And remember, if you're seated, you've got that wide stance and you're over and under, okay? 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Go at a tempo that feels good for you and is challenging for you. 5 more seconds here. 3, 2, 1. 10 seconds recovery. We're going into our ham curl kickbacks, okay? 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Make sure you stay in control of your body, but you are trying to say, okay, can I pick this up a little? I'm almost done. I'm almost there. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Onto jumping jacks. Okay. Remember, we can toe tap it. We can be seated. We can flex foot it here, or we can do regular. Here we go. Woo. Almost there. 5 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Okay. One more in round 1. We've got our back forward knee. Okay. 3, 2, and 1. Remember, if you're seated, this is just an alternating knee raise. Exhale. Exhale, right? Push that air out of your belly as that knee comes up. Right? 3, 2, and 1. One more time through, okay? Check in with yourself. You should feel a little breathy. Are you good at this point? Do you need to pull back, or can you push harder, okay? Last round. Here we go. We're doing our slip rope squats. Three, 2, 1. Good. Okay. Ham curl with the row. Okay. Ready? And 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Flexed foot if you're standing. Trying to get that heel up towards your glute. Three, 2, and 1. Okay. Jumping jacks. Any of our varieties that work for you. In 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Final one here. Back forward knee. Okay. Last 20 seconds. Deep breath. Here we go. In 3, 2, and 1. Right. Think of deflating your stomach right here. Like think of that belly button really pulling back when you exhale. 3, 2, and 1. Woo, nice job, guys. Oh, man. Woo. Take a drink, recover. We're gonna start from the top down with our cool down today. All right, so let's start with, we'll do some dynamic stretching here. So let's just do some half turn neck rolls right here. You can bring your elbows behind your back. If you can, depending on your mobility, like I'm able to just touch my elbows with the opposite arm. See where you can get. It might be like forearm to forearm or wrist to wrist, but try to feel that stretch through the arms and the shoulder as we rotate from ear to ear here. 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Next, we're going to come nice and wide with our stance. Let's put our palms on the bottom of our thigh, and we're going to twist elbow to opposite foot, and then not elbow, shoulder to opposite foot, shoulder to opposite foot. So a little gentle movement, twisting out our thoracic spine here. A few more here. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, let's go ahead and get our lats here. So now we're going to side, step, side, step, side, step together, step out and side, step together, step out and side. Three, 2, and 1. Okay, let's go into our hips. Let's go nice and wide. Let's do some hip circles here. So all dynamic stretches today, which means that we're still stretching through the joints, but we're adding some gentle movement as we do it. Let's get ready and switch directions of our circle here. Good, let's bring it together. Let's go ahead and get into our calves here, and we'll flex and point. 5 flex and points. And then 5 circles each direction. Same thing other side. Flex and point for 5. You can hold on to something if you need to. And then 5 circles each direction. Good, and let's finish off with our nice big inhale here. So we're gonna inhale, palms up, palms together, exhale, palms to heart. One more time. Inhale, exhale, palms to heart. All right, guys, thanks for showing up today. Hope you enjoyed the session.